Kind of going with the husband and wife theme here. This is my 7chambers Magic of Myth. This is the Gen 2, and this saber is getting buried with me. I waited so long to get this in hand. I think I got this. This is back when 7chambers was just going through an absolute mess of manufacturing problems and shipping problems, communication problems. It was just a freaking disaster. But I got it, and it's awesome, and it kicks so much ass. This thing is so sweet. This is, of course, very accurate to the screen use prop, and specifically the cave scene, which was a deleted scene that was shown at Celebration about 10 or 11 years ago. First time that's ever been seen. But it was a scene where Luke was constructing his lightsaber and getting it inside R2's dome prior to the Jabba's palace scene. Really cool, and this saber really kind of captures that. But you can kind of see it in there that it's got all of the control box greeblies. Which is really cool. But kind of going as an overview for the hilt, there is a steel slug that sits in the neck, and that gives it a really rigid feel and makes it a little bit top heavy, which I like. This is real copper. That also came with a brass neck and a aluminum neck that you would paint with base antique gold if you wanted a real screen accurate. This is kind of my take on a idealized accurate prop. I prefer the look of this neck than I do the antique gold. But you've got the uneven rings, which match the prop. The control box is also very accurate. Blinkies and your two buttons. This is a very accurate circuit card with the accurate greeblies in the box, accurate tri-ring, and hidden sound venting. This is for the blade plug. It's actually not a plug, it's just a screw-on cap. So when I go to throw a blade in, there's actually a blade that I made just for this saber that has a threaded piece that matches this. I didn't do too much weathering on this, really any. This came with a very nice brushed aluminum finish. And I really like the look of that. I did kind of darken it just a little bit, but not a ton. Everything on it is just kind of natural over time. Just kind of me picking it up and swinging it, taking it to, I think we took this to Disney last year, and I've taken it to a couple of local conventions. Just kind of going into it, this is the Solo Sabers chassis. I got this before I was doing my own chassis. So I hit up Jeremy over at Solo Sabers to use his chassis. It's really nice design, pretty easy to install. You've got your battery up here. I think this is a Osh Park blade connector. The proffie sits back in here. Everything, blinkies and switches, are actually wired into a helper board that I'd had to do a lot of finagling with to get to work properly. The speaker sits in the pommel in a removable pod. You can see the pod in there along with the pogo pin adapter, the pogo pins themselves, and the proffie. They are two different colors because my old dog before he moved on. Decided it looked like a tasty snack when I was working on it, so he kind of crunched a little bit and left me with the pieces. The matching connector is up in the grenade section, and then this is a stock V3 in the emitter. Since there is already a battery in it, we'll see if it's charged at all. There's a kill switch as part of the helper board that sits under this greebling in the box. A little difficult to get to, but blinkies are going in the cave scene, and I do like that they kind of shine through in the box. Just close that clamp card up. I think I've got probably a dozen or so fonts on this. I'll go over them pretty quick. A lot of them are Luke fonts. This is, I think that's Kyberphonics The Return. I think these all might be Kyberphonics The Return.
His lightsaber. Yes. A Jedi's weapon.
And this is the Death Star version of that font. He's got just a couple of different ones in there. He's got that, after Vader's kind of threatening Leia, he's got that really like gnarly ignition.
I sense a disturbance in the Force.
This is Kyberphonics The Return, but this was kind of my first foray into making custom boots and stuff like that, so I ripped a bunch of sound files from Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast, because that's really the only Legends Luke stuff that you get for post-Return of the Jedi.
Well, you look like an overgrown Kowakian monkey lizard, so I guess looks don't count for much.
I've got Kyle on here as well. Just for a little bit of variety.
Are you a Jedi? I am.
The Rescue. Then back to the cave scene. We'll throw a blade in it. If I have my X key around here somewhere. Like I said, I did make a custom blade with this. This is a KR pixel strip, 1-inch blade, and it's recessed to match up with the thin neck portion, just to show you what that looks like. So it's recessed in about probably 1/2 inch, and this just kind of stays on it, but when it's inserted and locked down, I'll thread this down and it'll just be one piece. Just make sure that the retention screw is in literally as far as it will go. Just like that.
Java, this is your last chance. Free us or die. I'm a Jedi. You are now at one with the Force. What are you waiting for, an invitation?
Something that I like about having the Kyle font on there, the original saber for Luke in Episode 6 was supposed to be blue. It got changed because it wasn't going to show up that well against the sky in the Jabba's sail barge scene. So they changed it to green, which, in my opinion, way fucking cooler than blue. But that's just me.
Are you a Jedi? I am.
And a bonus to most of these fonts being green, this was the easiest config file that I've ever done, bar none. Super easy, just copy and paste. But that's about it for this guy. And this is, like I said, this one's getting buried with me. The amount of time that I had to wait, the finished product and all that stuff, I'm never getting rid of this. And the fact that Luke is my favorite character doesn't, definitely helps that statement. But this is a great little piece in my collection. Just kind of a little bit of a pain sometimes to get the blade in and out. But no, this thing is pretty sweet. It is definitely one of my favorites. I've gone through probably 4 or 5 different Luke sabers, and this one is the one that I'm keeping. I've had the Saber Forge Prodigal Son from probably 12 years ago now. That was great. I ended up selling that to a buddy of mine. Then I got the Pack Store Hero. And that was another great one. I ended up selling that to someone in the community. I ordered this one, and then I got, I think there was another one in there somewhere, and then this one showed up, and I obviously kept this one, but I've also got a couple of V2s. I had the Anakin Starkiller V2, not the DS2 V2. It was the I think it was a builder's kit from a couple of years ago. Now I've got a KR XOR V2 that I need to finish up. I got to do all the paint, stenciling, chemical weathering, and then come up with a chassis and install it. But that'll be a nice little piece of my collection. I've also got the TCSS MHS Luke that I'm probably going to make a V3 or a Yuma with, but we'll see. Anyways, going back to shut everything down, that kill switch in the control box. shuts it all off. Anyways, this is going back on my display. Thank you.